All right, I think everything's going. Got my headphones on. Usually I forget. Let's put my chat up. No. So I see somebody left a comment in chat already. Thanks so much. If you're new here and you want to see more of these and some impromptu streams with Lena, which are going to be coming up, make sure you press the subscribe and the get notification bell, and then you'll be able to join us. It's fun doing streams with Lena because she's kind of very similar to what I do. Hey, Christy. Good to see you. So today we're going to be doing this awesome, they call it an Art Nouveau. I guess you could say that. And we're going to do it in acrylic, and we're going to be adding all kinds of other things like Posca pens or markers, whatever you want to call them. You could also use a very thin brush if you don't have Poscas, or if you have cheaper brand of acrylic markers, use them. You could, if you're using a craft paint, which I am going to be using, you could use colored pencil on top too, because it has a fairly matte finish, and it's very easy to use your colored pencils on top. So we'll see what comes out of this. And I haven't done this before, so you're experimenting with me, so to speak. So I have already put down a coat of black gesso. And this is just on my sketchbook paper. It's a mixed media paper, Strathmore. And I use the white tracing paper. You can get it at Michael's or any of the hobby stores. So it's just a white tissue paper. And make sure your gesso is good and dry beforehand, or sometimes it'll rub off with your hand on there. And it might be a little harder to get off if the paint wasn't thoroughly dried. That's happened to me before. But you can take, oh, that one. See, that one's not coming off that well. So it could have been a little bit damp up there. But we can patch that up. So I do have this here. This is the traceable that I have for you, and it's for all levels of the YouTube membership here and also on Patreon. It's $2.99 a month for all of the past 2 years of traceables. If you just want to join the first level, and you can download every single one of them if you want to. So this is what we're going to do. It's going to be fun, I think. I wanted to start getting more into mixed media again. So using my colored pencils, maybe inks, whatever I can dream up and experiment with, really. Hey, Kim, good to see you. Stacy, awesome. So I hope you have a refreshment, and so I'm not sure how long this one will take. Could be quick, Depends how I want to go about. Now, as you notice, I didn't put all of the leaves and flowers and swirly doos in the fur because I'm going to do that mostly with a liner. It's not going to be realistic, so this could go fairly quickly, actually. So it's a great one for a beginner if you want to give this a try. I will be using my, oh, this one's a little bit hard. I don't think I cleaned that very well. This is the Angle Shader by Princeton. It's a Velvet Touch. These are really good. I love these. I like short handles. That way I'm not poking you in the eye with a long handle. Let's see, what else? Yeah, I like using flats. So either just a regular flat like this one. This is just one of the plaid ones from One Stroke. They work well too. Depending on how it's a liner brush by One Stroke. And then there's a little bit of a thicker one for larger areas. So because we're not going to be doing necessarily fur, like a realistic fur, it's more stylized, more illustrative, I guess you could say. And I think it's going to be fun. Less stress when you don't have to go too much into the aspect of reality, too realistic. It can get a little confusing, but we'll see what we can do. Now we do have, I'll get that picture up again. We do have background colors here. So there is quite a bit of black, but there's purples or maybe even a plum shade you could use with a little bit of black in it. And this kind of sienna color, also a bit of brown. I guess I should get, well, I can use some gesso black for my black. And then the creams. There's no real white in this. It's mostly creams and muted down colors. Hey, Riri. All right, so first thing I think I'm going to do, I'm just looking on my cat here, and this area in here is pretty well dark background. Now, I do have a traceable attached to my book here because I left it on. I didn't take it off, so I can just place it over it again. Hopefully I got it in the right spot. So let's see. Right down there. Nope. Might have been like that. Yep. Like that. Just want to make sure I got it in the right position. That's right about there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just take a pen and I'm going to make a few of these swirls just so I know where to put some of the color highlights and the way the swirls are going. Now you can wing it if you want, or you could draw all of this out. I will post this for you that you can download and make it a little easier. That, or you can take a screenshot right now. Could do that too. So you can screenshot that if you're doing it. That way you can see how the colors are put on the cat. I'm just going to put that in front of me. And let's see, I'm going to put this part under the eye. Just because that part is a little bit important to know where that is. And this whisker here, you don't have to put both like lines to show the thickness. You can see it from the page. I'm just going to put the whiskers in. This one here. I'll probably just have to repaint them again, but that's fine. And okay. And maybe right here just to show the direction of the fur. This, well, it is the fur, but done in a illustrative way. It's kind of like a advertisement that they would have done in the 1920s probably. Maybe this one. Just so I have a kind of a road map of where everything is. Makes it a little easier to figure where all those curves are going. If you have something that sticks out. So these shapes would stick out to me. So it would be easier to find them. I'm just going to do this one here. And I know this one's a little different. All right. I don't want to put too much in because I know I'm going to do a lot of painting over top. All right. So you can, this one, you can pretty well start anywhere on the cat, I think. So let's put out our colors that are in here. And it's kind of a turquoise color. So I've got azure blue. This is Delta Ceramcoat. And I also have, are they all Delta Ceramcoat? Yeah, they are. Or you can use Americana, whatever you have on hand. Use it up. There's a lot of this kind of a plum color. And this one's Wisteria. You can also use your wash paint if you wanted to. That would look cool too. And then there's this ivory. There's a lot of ivory in this one. I'm going to take this one out so I don't get mixed up. I think it's a wet paint. And this one's dried up. That's why I like using these palettes. You just peel it off. You don't have to worry about using up plates. Then there's this kind of green. So I have a cactus green. It's a nice green for this one. You're going to lurk? Okay. Looks like black. Looks like a black light poster. Yeah, it does kind of, doesn't it? Put some green there. Some brown. And I have golden brown. Ochre would probably do too. Hey, Stacy. And a little pink for the ears and the nose. This is pink parfait. Just going to put it on the edge here. Don't need a lot. And I have a little bit of bayberry. This one kind of sounds chunky. Might be able to, don't need a lot of it, but let's see what we can get out of it. Just a little bit of a different green. And black. So I'm just going to use Golden's acrylic. Because the Golden's black is matte finish, so you can just use that. It's very powerful though, I must say. Don't need a whole lot. It's very pigmented. That's the golden black gesso. My hands. All right. So let's, well, I guess I could put it. Is this close enough for you guys? Because I know some of you like to see the palette and some of you like to see the picture. So, and I don't have my other camera set up, so I can't put picture in picture. Is that good? Just like that? Let me know. And then we'll get to it. I think it's light enough for you, so that's good. I'm gonna, let's see, this one has a dry area on it. I don't know. Ooh, I have to change my water too. So it is black from doing the gesso. So talk among yourselves while I get new water. All right. Sorry about that. That black gesso is super powerful. So think I should be able to work with this. If not, I'll get another one out. Oh, I could use, where's that brush? I could try using this. Forgot I had these. This is the Silver Ruby Satin Triangle. Have you ever used these? They're cool. Get all kinds of different marks. They have a really sharp point. Maybe I'll try that. That might be kind of fun. I always like to experiment. Looks good? Okay. All right, so let's start off in here. So we have a lot of dark backgrounds, so we don't have to worry too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with the darkest darks. So that will be the purples. I can add a little bit of black to it even. And these kind of sienna colors also, or golden browns. So we have this purple here, or wisteria, I think it was called. And I think I'm going to grab some, put it over here. And just a smidgen of black on the tip of my brush. Don't want too much because it's very powerful. So just add a little at a time and that'll gray it right down. Okay. So we kind of want to go into the direction that we've painted. And don't worry too much about going over lines. We can always figure that out again. Right here, which would be about here. Because we're going to put a whole slew of line work in here. Lots and lots of line work. You can even make your own line work if you want to really experiment. Just do a bunch of lines and then see what comes of it. Make your own patterns even. As long as you're going kind of with the direction of how the face is, that's all you really have to worry about. So I'm just going to use this color for now. There's a little bit. We can always go back and forth with these colors too. This is a really cool brush. You get some really awesome lines. So anywhere from really small to really big. Got some curvy ones. And I just want to leave a little bit of black in areas. Get a little bit in here. You could use just Poscas too, would be cool. Just want to experiment. Going down here. Kind of like Zentangling actually. So I'm just going to kind of play with some of these shapes. That's cool. A few in here because we're going to go over top too. So remember that with other colors. So don't be scared to put a bunch of stuff down because you can always go back over it. Okay. I'm just going to concentrate on this area first just to get the feel of it. Let's do a little bit of this golden color. I'm going to bring it forward a little bit on my palette and just add a smidgen of black to that color too. See how powerful that is? Almost made it into a green. Well, let's play with it. Oop. So we can just, there's not quite as many. There are some. So you can go over top of the other one. I'm going to bring this around. Just play. That. One right in here. And maybe just, this one needs to be a little bit lighter, so I'm just going to add a little bit of this, what was it? Ivory to it. And let's bring this down and around. Need a little bit of water on my brush. Just to make it flow a little easier. I haven't worked with this brush very much. It'll be a little bit of a challenge for me. It'll be fun. Okay, then this here comes in like that. I'm going to be a little more careful in the face area because I want it a little bit more precise. So a little bit of a change in hue right there. And this curl here, it's fairly light. And I can always go back over with Poscets too, if you know, if it's a little bit more difficult. We do have a lot of this color in here. Let's put this in. This goes over the eye and down the nose. That's kind of a lighter color. That, and then over the head there's a few of the lighter color. Now, do I want to do those now? Yeah, I guess I could. And this one, it's like that, kind of. And then across the, down to the eye. Let's see. Got any questions? You can put them in caps. That way I can see them. Might get my Poscas out too. Let's do that blue first. It's just a bit of black to that, I think. Boy, that black's so strong. Can't believe it. Let's try it. So this got quite a bit of blue. And I can go right over top of some of this. And I could even dull it down more if I want to. Like put a little bit of white in it even. Change it up. Still the same blue, but you're just changing the color slightly. It's fun to play with color. Maybe even a little bit of purple in there. Just calm it down a bit. Kind of green. So I'm just kind of making it up, actually. Just try and stay with some of the lines that you have already. Just play So back to the blue a little bit. Or actually, let's go back into the just take some off. This may turn out a mess. I don't know. I have never done this one before. Just playing. Thought it would be fun. Trying to leave some different areas of black. Let's get into this green here. Maybe the darker green. Maybe some it is a little bit more on the creamy side here, so we can put some more of those in, I guess. Going to be cool. Thanks, Kim. You never know until you try. That's the way I look at it. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Let's see. There's just a bunch of lines on this one. More into the greens. And then this here, I just thought it would be fun. I don't know if you guys like this type of painting where you kind of winging it. Let's just paint this nose area, this color. And then we can always go back over areas with more paint or colored pencil too. So if you're finding you're not liking the marks in it, don't throw it out. Just work with it. So a lot of times it's just a matter of switching it up a little and adding another layer or enhancing it in some way with colored pencil. There's that green in the eye. And this is kind of a, I guess there is a little bit of green on the bottom here of the eye, right in here. And then that part is black and purple. This part is a little more on the beigey side with a little bit of ivory in it. I want it fairly light. So right in here, but I still want to leave some black areas. This is a little tricky to use this brush, but you kind of have to play with stuff if you want to learn how to use it, right? Okay, so this inner ear here has some pink in it. A little bit of lightens as it goes in. And then the hairs basically stick out. But I do want a little bit on the pink side or that ivory won't show up. Hey, Susan. And a little bit in the other ear here. A little bit more on the lighter side, not so pink. Like that. Thanks. It's experimental. You know, you gotta play, try things. That's what I like to do. Okay. May not be exactly. Well, I know it won't be exactly, but it's fun to play. All right. Then we have these fuzzy ears, basically. And another line right down here. And one on here. It's the fuzzy wuzzies on the ears. You could, if you want, draw out every single line that's on the traceable. If you don't want to wing it. A little lighter right in here. That. And right here, it's lighter. And then all these fuzzy hairs sticking out. This is the top part of his eye. A little bit of darker right in there. There's kind of this flower pattern, I guess you could say, right here by the ear. You can add Poscas later and form the little pattern that's by the ear. Then there's this here. You can make your own shapes too. You don't have to stick to this. Sometimes it's fun to just use it as a starting off point and then just expand from there. Try things, do things. See what you can do with it. A bit of I'm going to put some green in that. Okay. And then kind of that yellow. But I got a lot of, I'll have to put the black in again, I think. Bit of whiter area there, I think. I'm just going to go with white in there. I know it's blue, but I'm going to go with the white for now. And then this is basically all cream right in here. It's around his nose. Get a different brush. Just have a little bit more control. Leave a little bit of black on the bottom. This would be a fun one to use colored pencils on too. Ah. Okay, Barb, a red swipe. Let's see. A bit of, I'm going to let that dry and then give it another coat. This is a little bit more dark in here. It's a little bit of a darker color, maybe some more purple. This, oh, here, this right in here is actually purple. I need a smaller brush though. Pointed brush. Nope, I don't want to use that. This is watercolor. Here. Let's see. Right in between the eye. And actually, kind of going up like that. Kind of curves around the green part. Up like that. And need this to be really fine. It goes up into the eye slightly. Like that. And then this here can have a little bit of purple right under the eye. And then it goes into kind of a blue. So I'm just gonna, not even gonna clean my brush. Like that. And I think I need a little bit of a lighter color in here. So let's see. Let's try some of this. It's a little bit of a finer edge to it. Try different brushes because you will get a different effect in the way you hold the brush and different strokes, that type of thing. I can take some of this, bring it in to the muzzle. Oh, I know, I don't want to bring it into the muzzle because I got to give that another coat. Okay, that's dry enough. Because this was black gesso, it's going to take a couple coats to cover this. I think it's going to be cool though. I wanted to give it a try anyways, see how easy it would be. You never know until you try. Okay. Let's go a little bit brighter. And above his eye could be a little brighter. Like that. That. And a little bit in here, I think, under the eye. Right in here. That. Whiskers. Those were the ones that I drew out, just so that I know I can still see the white chalk lines back in here. That. Uh, that. Just under here, it's a little bit fuzzy. Going out into the Thanks, Chrissy. It's coming. Just gotta play until you get the right look you want. It's fun. I enjoy experimenting. What about you guys? See, and you can always enhance stuff. Let's put some white in some of these here. Just give it a little bit of bright oomph to it. Gotta do his nose too. His nose needs to be darker. Love it, Kathy, watching while eating dinner. Paul says you're amazing. Oh, thanks, Paul. You just have to try things, make mistakes, try again, but enjoy it. And maybe a little bit of this color mixed in. A little bit of a wrinkle in his nose. You can put that in with Posca later if you want. And a little bit in his eye here. A little bit lighter there. A little bit more here. Like that. This is pretty opaque. Right there and right in here. And underneath this here. That looks pretty good. Okay, I need, let's see, a little bit of this color and right in here in the eye. I might have to spruce it up a little bit with, let's try putting a little bit of blue in there. I need a really fine brush now. I'm going to use this. I could use a really fine short one. Well, let's give this a go. Why not? You need a lot of water when you're doing painting with this type of brush. So this consistency has to be just right. A little bit thick, but that. Okay, and I don't know if this will be good enough or not. Let's try. I need a really good sharp point on my brush. Actually, it's kind of got let's use a Posca. Let's play it safe. Nice black Posca. Hey, Brenda. Good to see you. Yeah, we're playing with a cat. Let's dry it first. I don't want to wreck my Posca. So what I want to do is do an outline around his eye. Bit of a wonky eye there. I think this has to be shortened a little bit, like that maybe. And maybe right here. This one. It's dark. And then right above this. Brings it right around like this. That's better. Okay. And I could bring this black into there's a little bit of green and blue in that top ear right in here. So this here, and then a little bit of blue. Green. Just blend it in. It's kind of transparent looking. Like that. Right here needs something. So I'm going to take some more of that ivory and gold color. And yeah. a little bit of shine on some of it. A little different. That. Bring this down a little bit in the eye. Not bad. It's not exactly the same, but I like it. And then there's a little dabs of kind of a, I think I'm going to go with a gold color. So he has these little dabs. Whiskers. Two, three. That. Just a few small ones over here. You can't really tell too much the shape because they're kind of distorted because of the angle they're on. And I need a couple light ones again. Right in here. And then some of these are a little bit different colors. So let's see. That. Just on the inside part. You could put gold on here too. That would look really cool. Yeah. All right. I'm going to do the mouth. So, look, a nice black line here. That. Let that dry, and around the nose. We got to paint the nose first. It was pink. Nice pink nose. That. Let that dry. We can go back in and clean it up. Let's fix that eye again. It almost needs a different color, something brighter. No. Too much water. I could put maybe Posca in. Something. I'll let it sit, and let's do some more of these flowers now. Let's dry this first before I put that down. Dry his nose. I think I might go in with, no, kind of have to stick with the colors I have in the cat. I was thinking of Posca, but I don't have any of those colors in Posca, so I'm gonna, I guess I'll just put this down again, draw it out. Basically, to see where, let's see if this is right, placed down. We need to bring it up a bit. There we go. Okay. So we have the sticks. I'm just going to put, I'm not going to put the whole thickness in, just so I don't bore you guys with all of this. But I will put basically just where those branches are going. And we have a leaf there. And then these flower thingies. I'm just doing a rough drawing, and then I'll paint it in. So you can do, you can change this up too. You don't have to stick with this. Basically, the flowers are going to go here and here. This is leaf, leaf. And then this branchy thing, I don't even know what it is. And make as many leaves as you want, or you don't even have to put this in if you like just the cat. That's good too. There's those kind of like dandelion flowers. Just whirly cue. Another leaf. And then another flower. Another leaf. So it's just basically a roadmap for me. And then I can go in and paint however I want to do the flowers. Okay. So let's see. What do I want to use for the flowers? I think I'm going to get a filbert brush. Or I guess I could use a sword. Let's try the sword. Okay. So first we'll put in some of these stems. And you can add to this. You can eliminate things if you want. You could put in your own creations. Just have fun with it. Oh, I forgot to put those in. Oh, let's put those in. It's kind of a stem here. You could do this in gold too, if you wanted to. That would look really cool. Okay, I think that's all of those types of color stems. Then we have that mauvey color. Of the leaves, and then basically the veins are the different colors. So you could really go to town on these. It could be fun. And just make them really multicolored if you wanted to, and then use a bunch of Posca for the veins. That would be neat. I think well, you don't have to go according to the reference. Just play with it. Do what you want. You can change the color up because the color kind of mutates into the cat basically. So it gets to be difficult to tell what's the cat and what's the leaves. And some of these. It's kind of, I think it's the cat that's behind here. So there's all this, some blue, there's some purples. And it's hard to recognize what's what, but looks cool. That's what I liked about this one, is that it was kind of disguised looking. Okay, so I got a bit of that in. Now I'm going to take the blue and make my stems of the main. Well, not even that is, well, I'm going to do it blue. You don't have to, but I am. Again, it starts to morph into other colors. So I'm kind of mixing the two, the purple and that blue. Okay. Then I'll take my, let's see, where did I put it? Oh, I didn't take one out. Well, just thinking what would give me the best shape for that. Do I not have a bigger brush? Oh, here's it. Nope, can't use that. Oh, there's one. There's a filbert. They're great for leaves and stuff. So I'm going to dip into my pure blue and then tip it in ivory. And that'll be my leaves. Blue, ivory. Right here. A bit more ivory on there. A little different. And then these are the leaves that are blue. I need a little bit of a, go back to my angled brush because I want the point. Takes too much water on my brush. Just wondering if I should. These ones have blue, little little blue, a little purple, and a little mauve. So kind of triple loaded. Some sort of little flower bud. And let's do those up here too. That. That. Gonna put a little bit of that blue in there. Okay, let's do the flower, this one here. So it's kind of got that cream and a little bit of the gold in it. And I'm going to start out from the outside first. And maybe we'll do like this. So I just tip that one edge of my brush in the gold. So I put more ivory and then just tip my brush. Tip in that. Actually, I want, let's see. I want the dark on the bottom. Let's do it this way. Yeah, that's better. Experiment. So I'm double loading my brush. There. Now I'll have to let that dry, but we can do this one here. This one's going to be kind of the same. Maybe we'll put some purple in this one. Let's see what we get. So that you never know until you experiment with this type of thing. Oops, somehow got some pink in there. Oh well. Oh well. A little bit more of the that. And we could do one here too. They're kind of generic flowers. So just play. These look good. Thanks, Brenda. Right. So this is a real fast way of doing flowers. You could go back over them, you know, if you think they need to be a little bit brighter. It's up to you. I'm going to dry it so I can go over top of that without disturbing it. And we'll fix these up too. We'll put some maybe Posca on there. Let's see. For green. Yeah, maybe we'll use the green we used in here on the purple. They're fun to do though. I do enjoy doing these. All right, so we had ivory on our brush and then dipped it in. Let's see, what's the center look like? Okay, so dip it in. And then we go over top. So the heel of my brush is being dipped in. And this green one here, I'm going to make this leaf here. It's the green. And this is a flower too. So let's put that in and, oh no, let's put the green leaves in and then we'll put the flower over top of them. So that green we used in the cat. And serrated, kind of a serrated edge. We'll add veins and stuff to it. How many of you have a bunch of craft paint on your shelf or in your cart that you haven't used in a while? They do go bad. That's why I'm using these up. All right. I think I'm going to put a little one there. That. And then we'll do the flower. So again, we want, may as well keep it the same. I don't want to add any new colors to my paint. So now these ones are going to be a little bit different. They have to be a little bigger. Now you could get a bigger brush if you wanted to. Let's see. Kind of like a they kind of remind me of a abstract sunflower in a way. Maybe one more down here. And we'll let that dry. And now we could also put a little more of these stems in if you want. Make it a little more complicated. Let's see. That. What else? Did I get my, oh, almost. Let's put some of this center there. Yeah, I don't like it. Let's take it off. Okay. While that's drying, I'll just touch up a few areas that might need a little bit more color, or you never know. A bit more of a dark in there. Okay. Okay, I'm going to still let that dry. Hopefully I don't get it in my sleeves. That's what I usually do. And I've got that green again, and now I'm just going to make some veins, basically. And I do want the line fairly thick. Not that thick. Same with here. That. And same thing with the purple in the blue. You could do this with Poscas too. If you've started it with some Poscas, that's great. I think I missed a leaf here. That. There's actually a few leaves, brighter leaves in the flowers here. fairly opaque. That a bit more brighter. Yeah. And maybe the blue in here. Let's put a little bit of this blue in the leaf here, where the let's see. A little bit of a different one. That. And then take that green again and just run it up there in between. Guess you could call this almost abstract in a way. More than half of mine are drying up, sadly. Yeah, that's what happens. They get all chunky. I have craft paint that's never been opened. Not even sure why I bought it. Oh no. Should open it. Try painting with it. You might like it because if you're at all interested in mixed media, they're great to use with colored pencils. Let's put in another layer here. And let's add some blue to it this time. And we'll, like I said, these are not really true flowers. This is all made up. We could take it right down into the center here. Put another one in here. And then maybe some purple. Bring it out while it's wet. Guess we could Not sure how I want to end this. A little bit more blue in there. All right. And then let's do some dots on the, just with black on the inside here. Like that. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna take a little bit of this and just lightly go over the edge a little bit so it kind of looks fuzzy. And then a little bit of a shine on his nose. Why not? That. And maybe a little bit of shine on his eye, maybe. Just a tad. Like that. It's not white, but I don't want to go white. Okay, so let's give that a dry. Okay, I've seen that. So you could leave it just as it is, or you could go in with black marker, like acrylic marker, and clean up some of the lines if you want, or add lines. Just make sure your paint's really good and dry though. So you can wreck your markers if you go through wet. Or I might do a little bit of work in there, kind of like the way it is here. See what we can do with the black Posca. And maybe clean up. There are, if you look at the photograph or the reference, you can see there's black lines around certain areas. So it depends on, how perfect you want it, I guess. I'm going to do a little bit, looks like on the nose here. That. that. Okay. And we could probably do something like this. Clean this up a little bit. Depends how much you want to play around with it. I like doing this type of stuff, but you don't have to. You could just leave it as it is, and it would be just as fine as anybody else's. Nobody's going to know, except you, what the original looked like of the reference. So maybe a little bit of a separation in here. I don't know. Kind of have to play with it. The only thing when you do this type of thing is that depending on how much you do, you kind of get trapped in doing it all over. If you know what I mean. So you have to kind of know when to stop. That can be hard sometimes. Yeah, see, I'm getting kind of into that area of no return. So I think I'm safe enough to stop right there. Is just enough in, I think, in here. So I think it's safe to stop. What do you guys think? The good thing about doing this, is if you don't like it, you can always go back over and put something else on it. But it's fun. So that's dry now. So you could take, colored pencils. Um, I'm still not quite satisfied with this eye. I think it needs something. What do you think? Is it bright enough or not? Let's try and put a little bit of light in here. Just a little bit of lighter area there. There is a little bit of shading in there. Could go with, yeah, that might work. See, this is what I like to do, is the little stuff, the little details. But you could leave this. Just a little bit of shading, no, that's still too light. It needs to be a little bit darker. Let's try this color. This might work. You like it, Brenda? It's fun to do. I like to challenge myself. There, just a little bit of a difference under her chin and around the mouth. And right in here. Be a little bit. Maybe in here a little bit. There. Just gives it just that little bit of dimension. As there's not a lot of shading in this, but there is a tiny bit. Could even, oh, that's not light enough. A little bit in the flowers, maybe, just to bring them out a little bit. Brighten some of the areas. where it's kind of dull looking. This is what I like to do. Let's do a little something something in there with some purples, maybe. Purple. There's a light purple. Let's see. Yeah. Just maybe some up front flowers. Just to give it a little bit more depth. Because you do add a lot of depth when you do this type of thing. So you're bringing more dimension. Let's see. Could just do this. That. Make it a little bit more complicated. A little bit more. And let's put a little bit of yellow in this. Bring this up a little bit. I like that. I like highlights and I like shadows and stuff. Just brightens things up, I find. Let's do a little bit in the fur here and there where it's kind of dull. Like that. You don't do everything though, but maybe you want your eye to catch something. Give a little more interest. Yeah, I think that works. Just needed a little bit, a little something, something. It's a little darker. That. I see what you mean about the colored pencil. Nice added effect. Yeah, it just, I love it. Just love it. Just gives it that little bit of either highlight or shadow, or and it could be just something simple as white too. Sometimes, and it won't go on necessarily as white because you're going over top of another color. So it's going to be muted down because of the color you're putting it over top of. But it just adds to your painting. I want to dig out those old. I tell you the truth, I use my craft paints more than I do my artist grade. I like to play in um, my journals because it's a safe place. Uh, and how many paintings are you going to do? You know, large paintings. And what are you going to do with them? Are you going to hang them up? Or are you know, there's only so many friends and people you can give your paintings to. And I like to paint. So you know, you don't want to stop because your house is full of enough of them. So that's why I like to do it in my journals, and there I can experiment and improve my painting abilities, my mixed media. There's so much in mixed media because you're always constantly learning in that, right? And you just have to try things. Yeah, right? That's why I like to work in like journals. And if you wanted to, you could take this out of your book and frame it if you wanted to. Or this could be also most people that do large paintings, they start off this way where they do the practice piece, so to speak. So many artists do more than one painting. They do 3, 4, 5 to get it right because they're always practicing, getting ideas of how they're going to approach a certain part of the painting and how would they do that, what colors would go first, and glazing and trying things out. And then they go to their large piece if they find that, yeah, that's going to look really great on a large canvas. So this is why I like playing in here. All right, I think it's done. What do you guys think? So there's my little garden cat. And I can just touch up the black gesso with some more gesso. Like, doesn't take much to. That's the nice thing about gesso is you can just go back over with the same gesso, and it's not going to show that you applied another coat. Like, you're not going to get a darker black in that area. It'll dry the same um, as you would the first time. So if you got some areas where you didn't like it or you made a whoops, just put the gesso back on. It'll cover. All right. Thanks, Christy. Well, I hope you guys give it a try. Like I said, the all the traceables are in the membership. Our artistic seedlings is the first level if you just want traceables. And then the 2 other levels are more videos, but you don't see those on YouTube. And third level is goodies that I mail to you, plus all the whatever the last levels get to. So I'll let you guys go, and you have a fantastic weekend. And don't forget to, whatever it is you're doing, crafting, sewing, cooking, gardening, that's being creative. And don't forget to stop and enjoy it and don't rush. Get in the zone and enjoy yourself. All right. Thanks for coming, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now. I guess I better take a shot first. For my there. All right. Bye, guys.